you know, Coach Pitino is kind of like always tinkering with the starting lineup and all that. How difficult or easy is it to kind of get in a rhythm when I guess you don't really know if you're starting, if you're going to come off the bench, stuff like that?
I wouldn't really say it's difficult. I think coming to any game with the same mindset, and that's to win, and do what you can to do your part to win. So whether you're starting it or ending it, or I think it's kind of a mindset thing more than just when you're coming in.
Coach Pitino, like regardless of start or off the bench, you're going to be playing. You're going to be getting minutes, and does it matter to you whether you're a starter or a guy off the bench?
Nah, man. For me, not really. I think, like I said, the most important thing for me is winning. And everything else falling out after that. Whatever coach feels like is the best group to go out there and start the game off is how he feels. And I'm just, whether I'm in it or whether I'm not, I'm just coming in the game and doing my part and helping us win.
A number of people who have been effective players when they are coming off the bench say that being able to watch that first 5 or 6 minutes of the game gives them some sort of feel for like what the rhythm is or what is needed. In your experience of doing it, like, is that like a real thing?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, everybody has their own different like feel for the game and how they see things, but I can understand where they're coming from with that.
One thing that Coach talked about, kind of like said, you and Josan, one thing you have to learn and get better at is like everything's not just about scoring, it's about impacting the game in other ways. Just what has been maybe the most difficult thing to kind of get that clicking in your brain that it's not just about scoring, it's playing defense, it's doing all the other things that he wants you guys to do?
I think, like I said, I'm going to be difficult. I would say just doing the other things on a consistent level, making other things, I'm not saying I'm not making it a priority, but make it a priority and doing it for full course of being in the game or just playing.
One of the things that like Coach Pitino has mentioned from time to time is he's used the phrase like, we need Ian's defense right there. Now, I think a lot of people sort of thought of you as like great scorer, great outside shooter, distributor. Like, how do you like the idea that like he's sometimes feeling like he needs your defense, he likes your defense and wants it in the game?
It's great. It's great. I think I can defend at a high level. I feel like obviously I'm human. Some things happen, but I feel like I can defend at a high level. I feel like Coach feels like I can defend at a high level, and that's what we got to get done.
Ian, has this start not gone for you personally? How you thought it would?
Nah, not saying I did it. I'm just saying for me, it's great. I'm taking my bruises, not taking any bruises, but I'm going through a regular year. Taking it day by day, getting better every day. I'm enjoying the process. So for me, it's just another day one day at a time.
Where is your confidence at right now?
At an all-time high. At an all-time high. And I think that's a huge thing, just maintain that confidence. And for me, that's something that's never really wavered. So I still believe that I'm a great player. I still have all the confidence in the world in myself, and that's never gonna change.
When you watched film yourself against William and Mary, especially early, what did you see?
Seen a few things, a few scouting mistakes I've made, on the defensive end. A few things that we covered that I kind of gave up that I shouldn't have given up. Just little few mistakes. That's about it.
Is it coming off the bench? What's that? Is it hard?
Is it hard for me?
Yeah.
Nah. Like I said to them, whether you're starting it or whether you're finishing it, I think it's the mentality thing we get in the game. For me, nah. It's not too hard.
In the preseason, Coach was like, you had games that you had to win, but he was always focused on Alabama. He was like, Alabama's coming. Now, after that Alabama game, it's kind of Vegas. Vegas is coming. Has he been really intense and focused on getting you guys ready for the games out in Vegas, even though you still have a game left before you go out there?
I think coach does a great job of balancing the both. You know, because there are big games out in Vegas, but we also have games in front of us. You know, so I think coach does a great job. The whole staff does a great job of balancing the both. For us, like working on scouting on Bucknell and then the teams we're playing in Vegas. So it's a little mixture of both.
We've seen over the first 2 seasons with Coach Pitino that he uses different tactics to motivate different players because he's trying to get the most out of each guy. Do you feel like whatever he's doing behind the scenes with you is effective for you, or does he need a different touch with you?
We all know Coach Pitino. He's a great coach, you know. So I think Coach Pitino has his ways of getting certain things done, of getting the most out of guys, you know. And I trust Coach Pitino. That's why I come in here. I trust him and his ways of getting it done. So I'm here just being a sponge, trusting him, and like I said, just trusting the journey and grinding every day.
Do you think him and what he said the other day? I guess he told you and Joe Son about how guys aren't gonna play on reputation. They're gonna play based on what he sees in practice and in games. Do you think by you guys coming off the bench, he wants more out of both of you guys?
That'd be something you have to ask Coach. That'd be something you have to ask him.
How did that land with you when he said it?
What?
That he was going to play guys based on practice?
It made perfect sense.
Yeah.
You know, everything I've done in the past, it doesn't really matter. You know, it's good to hear, but we need Ian Jackson to be someone now, like not who he was, and I go out there and perform, and that's what it gotta be.
How did the captain thing work? Were you aware of that was going to happen? Was there like a player vote for a third captain? Like, tell us a little about that.
Nah, we were just kind of in film, and Coach just kind of said that I'll be part of it, part of Zuby and Deco as captains, and I mean, it felt good just knowing I'm doing the right things as far as putting this team first, try to help us get better, and using my experience and my leadership to try to just get the team on the same page with everything.
Just to get a little of the detail here. So you guys were like in the film room looking at something when he said this to everybody?
We were just in film, about to start watching film on Bucknell and stuff, and he just kind of said that I'll be a captain with Zuby and Deco as well.
Did you have any idea that
No,
that
not
was
at
about
all.
to be said?
No, not at all.
How did your teammates respond?
I mean, they all said like congrats after, and they kind of understand as far as what I tried to do to help the team win. So it was definitely dope.
In the time since then, have either Zuby or Sadiku said to you well, now that you're a captain, you're gonna have to do this or that or the other thing?
Nah, not really, because I've been trying to do that as a captain or not a captain. Just try to have that leadership, be vocal with the guys, just help them understand everything that we want to accomplish this year.
Why do you think there's anything specific you've done that made Coach do that?
I mean, I feel like I am a pretty good leader, and just trying to be vocal, get the guys going, help some of the younger guys out who are still trying to understand. And I mean, I've been playing, it's my 4th year now in college, so I understand, even if the system's a little different, I understand kind of what the coaches are looking for on defensive side, offensive side, as far as some of the little things, cutting, timing on things. So I try to help some of the young guys understand that. So just my leadership that I've had so far, and how vocal I've been trying to be to help this team win.
Have you ever been a captain before?
Oh, no, I haven't. It's my first time. So
What's that like?
I mean, it's cool. It's definitely I'm very appreciative of it, but it's something I kind of just always been pretty vocal and try to be that type of team player throughout my whole career. So.
I mean, you probably know how Coach feels about Zuby and Sadiku, and obviously he's been with Sadiku his whole college career, and Zuby now his 3rd year. So, the fact that you're joining those two guys, who he obviously holds in real high regard,
Yeah, it does, because like everybody on the team, but those two guys are really unselfish basketball guys, especially as far as knowing what the coaches want from this team, knowing what we want as a team, and trying to be unselfish and to be a part of that group with them two, who are, like I've said, are really good leaders, and they're vocal, and they even helped me when I first got here kind of understand what the culture is and everything like that. So being a part of it it's very appreciative.
Do you feel like this has kind of been the perfect fit for you?
Oh yeah, 100%. I think I've said it before. I wish I came here sooner. Just the culture, the coaching staff. I trust the coaches with everything, and just how hard they push you. They bring out that extra push that you know you have, but they get it out of you, and they get you to play, and they help you understand the game from all different aspects, even the little fundamental things. So just helping your game tremendously. I definitely feel like it has.
Dylan, the other day after we were married, Rick talked about Ian and Josan coming off the bench. They're probably the two highest upside players on this team, NBA draft prospects, and he said, like, what you've done before doesn't really matter. Do you think he's trying to get more out of those guys?
With that statement, I don't know, but I know Coach is trying to get the best out of not only them two, but everybody on the team. Obviously, those two guys have such high potential. They have the ability to be great, and they work really hard. The effort that they come with every day with practice, I think it's just about helping them understand some of the smaller things with it. Like Ian and Josan are terrific scorers, and defensively they can be the two of the best guys on the team defensively, just with the athleticism they have, the instincts that they have, their quickness and stuff. So now I think it's just about helping them understand some of the smaller things, and once they get that, I mean, they'll be unstoppable.
In the last 7 to 10 days, on 3 different occasions, we've heard Coach Pitino describe you guys as a finesse team. Mm-hmm. When you hear him say you're a finesse team, how does that land with you?
I mean, I think it's something that I've never heard that before, actually, but I think we're still trying to. I wouldn't even say still trying. We're just trying to get better every day in practice. Obviously, it starts every day in practice, but I think there's a lot of things that we gotta pick up on, especially with like blocking out some of the small little foundation things, fundamental things, physicality, just hitting guys on rebounds, stuff like that. Some of those little things that we're getting away with because of our athleticism and stuff, that could be where the finesse part comes into play. Like we just use our athleticism to try to rebound, other than boxing guys out and being physical. So I think it's some of those things that we gotta get better at, and we are.
So is being called a finesse team like a tiny bit of a diss? Like, I'm looking for something else that's not a finesse team.
I mean, yeah, it can be, and we take that as a team that we don't want to be a team that just gets away with things because of our physicality, because there's going to be nights to come where the other team's going to be just as, or not physicality, but how our athleticism, because there's going to be games where we can come and the other team's going to be just athletic as us, and then it comes down to all the smaller things. So,
do you think that kind of showed through in Alabama?
Yeah, I think so in a way, but also for us, the Alabama game, we weren't prepared as far as the scouting report. The coaches got us prepared. We didn't, as players, we didn't do a good job of executing, and so that was the main part with Alabama.
Does this team need to be tougher, especially when you get to Vegas? Not necessarily like mentally tougher, but just like tougher.
Yeah, 100%.
When you get to face some of these.
100%, and yeah, 100%. And I think just with the schedule we have, especially, I don't want to talk as far as March and stuff like that, but March toughness wins. It's not about the more talented team, and I mean, in March toughness wins, and even with the Big East and stuff like that, toughness wins games. So we definitely got to be tougher and got to hit people and do all the smaller things.
Is there something specific that you want to see tomorrow night from this team that maybe proves to you or shows to you that you guys are ready for the toughness that's coming in Vegas next week?
Like Coach has been preaching, hitting people when shots are up, and then executing the scouting plan. Like I said, Alabama, as players, we didn't do a good job of executing what the coaches needed us to do to help us get that win. So definitely just executing the scouting plan, perfect, and understanding different concepts of defense that we're in and stuff like that.
So there were some times last season, Zuby's the team captain, and we talked to some of the guys who transferred in, like Kadari Richmond and whatever, and we'd ask about Zuby's, captaining, and they were all like, they all thought he was a good captain, but they thought that his pregame speeches were just terrible.
They got better?
Yeah, no, Zuby's pregame speeches get better. He understands the culture around here and everything, and he gets a good job of understand what we need to do when we go out there. So I don't know how last year's were, but I think Zuby's doing a good job. Right?
I mean,
terrible at the beginning.
I don't know. I think Zuby's doing a good job.
Well, I mean, do you think maybe you would be a good replacement for the pregame talk?
No, I'm not here to replace anybody. I definitely, I try to say some things before the game just to get the guys going, but I think Zuby's doing a great job.
Does Rick bring up Vegas, in practice, if someone makes a mistake or you're not boxing out, be like, you're not going to get away with that in Vegas? Is Vegas being talked about? I know you have a game tomorrow, but
yeah.
Is Vegas?
I mean, yeah, here and there a little bit, just because it is right around the corner, but obviously we got Bucknell tomorrow, so we're getting ready for them. But yeah, just here and there, like when it comes to rebounding the ball and stuff like that. The teams in Vegas are going to be athletic and big, so yeah, here and there. But as of right now, the main focus on Bucknell and getting ready to play them tomorrow.
Rick, before we ask about the team, I just wanted to ask you, what have you thought of Danis's week and kind of what he is doing for himself right now?
Well, I think it's phenomenal, and no one deserves it more than that young man because he has worked his butt off. He's done it the old-fashioned way through hard work and paying his dues. The coach, I think, really respects him, so I think it's an awesome chance for him. Unfortunately, he's probably got to stay on that two-way contract because they have 15 guaranteed slots, but for his future, it bodes so well.
When you've talked to him, maybe, I don't know, in the offseason, he had such a great year in the G League, but he still didn't really get much of a chance, and he was kept on a two-way. What did you tell him, and what were your discussions like with him?
I just said, just keep doing what you're doing. You're going to get noticed because of the way you're playing, and every pro team needs a 6'3" lead point guard who makes other people better and can score.
Are you at all surprised what he's done in the last week when you look at some of the numbers he's put up?
I wouldn't say surprised, but just pleased more than anything else. It's just exciting to see because not only is he putting up scoring numbers, but his team's on an 11-game, I think, win streak. So, the fact that they're winning with him playing so well, it's great.
Who recruited him, and I don't know. Was it you? Was
I
there
did,
a lead?
yeah.
So you saw his film? Like, how did
So we were contacted. I'm trying to think of who it was. I sent Ricky Johns out to see him play, and Ricky came back and really liked him a lot. And then I started talking with a variety of different people to check out his background, and he came in and he improved a lot. He was more of a two guard than he was a one guard, and he just really improved. And the backcourt of him and Walter Clayton was dynamic.
Rick, can you tell us a little bit about how it came about that Mitchell is now a captain?
Well, I'm bringing him in off the bench. I think in the end, if we have a successful season, he's going to be the Sixth Man of the Year award. He's going to get that award because he is such a spark off the bench. He's such a spark in practice. He's shown great leadership in practice where I think the second team, the white team, what we call the white team, 50% of the time beats the red team because of him and his leadership. So I wanted him in that role. In the beginning of the year, Zuby and Deku were back. They were returning captains. We don't know the other 8 players yet, so he has stood out as a leader, verbal leader, and someone that I think everybody looks up to.
did you kind of, because you started him a little bit, now you bring him off the bench, did you kind of have a talk with him like, hey, I want you to be our sixth man type? Is that ever
I did talk to him about it, but there's going to be some games where he'll probably start, but more important, I think he's outside of Zuby, one of the most valuable players on the team, and we need him. We don't need him in foul trouble at the end of the game. We need his defense. We need his ball handling ability. He's a point forward. He's somebody that puts a lot of pressure on the other team.
When you recruited him, did you think you were getting this leader?
We knew we were
type?
getting. Well, I didn't know that. We knew we were getting a great player. He's done it in 2 different programs.
So like the leadership and being vocal, that kind of surprised you?
Didn't surprise me. I didn't know.
Is there anything specific that you've noticed he's done, whether it's accepting a bench role, that made you feel like he deserves to be our third captain?
I just think the players really look up to him. That's important, and I also think that he believes in all the things that comprise of the elements of being a good captain. All 3 of those guys are selfless. The name on the front is more important than the name on the back. It's all about winning. It's not about their stats. It's all about winning, and he exudes that along with Zuby and Deku.
So it was your decision. It
Yes.
wasn't necessarily.
Rick, if he is going to be the sixth man, does that move Ruben into the starting lineup, or
It
give
could
you a
move
3-guard
Ruben. It could.
alignment?
We'll start Josan in this game. Again, it's always matchups, and starting is so irrelevant to me, more so than probably any fundamental of basketball. It's not a fundamental, but an aspect of basketball. starting is so unimportant to me. But Josan will play that position in this game.
So you're going with a 3-guard lineup that's.
Well, Josan's a
Zion.
wing, so he's a wing.
Yeah.
He'll be the small forward in this
Okay.
game.
Rick, are you interested to see how Dylan holds up next week against the Iowa States and the Baylors? You know, he's obviously, you know,
I think you guys really underrate Dylan. He's got the best credentials of any player coming in here.
best,
Yes.
better than Bryce.
Bryce didn't play last year. This kid's player of the year in the Big Sky.
Okay,
What are his numbers last year?
they were good. I forget
And
exactly.
he's player of the year in the Big Sky. I think he was 19-7.
Yes.
With really good shooting stats.
Okay.
So I think you guys are underrating him a little bit because he played in the Big Sky. But his credentials are much higher than just about anybody.
So you have there's no question for you that he can handle the pressure of Iowa State. That the obviously much increased athleticism he's going to see compared to the 2 games he's played.
He's lightning fast. He's tough. So now Iowa State is everybody struggles with Iowa State.
Right.
So because they're like Houston, they're relentless with their pressure. But I have absolutely no reservations at all that he can play against anybody, anytime, anywhere.
Rick, we understand that you choose a lot of your words very carefully. When you describe your team as a finesse team, are you hoping that they don't hear that as a compliment?
I think we know the answer to that question. We'd like to hear it from you.
Well, I think, no, I didn't mean it that way. I do choose my words, but no, I didn't mean it that way. I just mean to say they're not a tough team. I think it's more the physical makeup of their bodies that, if you look at Iowa State, they're an imposing team, and they all look like a Gold's Gym commercial. Well, when you look at our guys, they are a very highly athletic team, but physical contact. If you look at Dylan, if you look at Ian, if you look at Josan, if you look at Dylan Mitchell, they're not overly physically made up people. They're finesse people, but I don't mean that as they're soft. They're not soft at all. They're just not overly physical because they're body types.
So if there's a Red Storm player who hears Rick Pitino say, you guys are a finesse team, what do you want that player to think? What do you want them?
No,
how
I
do you want
really.
them to respond?
There are times I I choose words for a reason. This is one I do not. I mean, they're finesse team just because they're not. Their physical makeups aren't like Zuby.
What about Bryce?
Bryce is physical. Yeah, he can be physical, but he's someone that likes offensive contact. He's not in love with defensive contact.
But I mean, you're not saying to them, I'm not crazy about how physical you guys are. I'm not, that you're.
No, I tell them all the time, you got to be much more physical. I do tell them that, but that's not what I meant by the finesse comment. I just think that's the strength. They're an athletic team. They're a team that is great off the bounce. I think they don't have positions. Anybody can bring it up, including Zuby. I would say that our power forwards have brought the ball up as much as anybody this year.
Rick, when you mentioned the physicality, and obviously next week you're going to face some physical teams. Can you see, can we see Ruben's role expanding when you look at, he's averaging 3.5 rebounds per game in 11 minutes. I mean,
I think Ruben's physical. I think Ruben likes to play physical.
can you see his role expanding?
Yeah, I think so. Against a team like that, yes. Now against a team like Baylor, possibly not.
Right.
It all depends. I do love the way Ruben's playing very much. He's unfortunately at the same position. That's why I started him last game as the best player in the team. So that's difficult. But I would like to get him more minutes if possible. Toughest thing I have this year is getting players minutes. It's the tough. A guy like Lefty is a very good basketball player, and probably if he had the minutes, could shoot every bit as well as Ozziah. But he's Ozziah's position.
Rick, when you look at kind of where this team is, and the other day you had talked about Ian and Josan, or you're not playing them on reputation. What do you want to see more out of those guys, and have they underwhelmed so far?
No, not at all. I love both of those guys. I think they can really play. But I just think it's a deep team. And my point to them was, this game is not just about offense. You've got to be against Alabama. They got they got outplayed. They gave up too many points defensively. Now they could score themselves, but they've got to. You can't score 14 points and give up 20 points. That's not good. So they've got to match their defense to their offense. But I like them both a lot as basketball players. They're great guys. I think they have great potential, but they're just not there yet defensively, and it will come. I don't blame them for not being ready, because the other guys aren't ready either as a defensive unit. Their weakness right now is defense, and it was shown with Michigan and Alabama. We gave up 100 points in both games.
Rick, is there something that you could see or you want to see tomorrow night that proves to you that they are ready for a Vegas tournament?
We're ready for Vegas. Iowa State is a different type of team to play against, but look, we can play. We played against Alabama, and we could have won that game. We played against Michigan, and definitely if we make free throws, we win that game. And those are two of the better teams in the country. So we're ready for them. I mean, Alabama was a great basketball game. We don't have any doubts in our minds at all about who we are, what we are. We know we have to play great to win, but I think we're capable of playing great.
How would you assess how you played in Alabama?
I give us a B plus.
Really?
I do. I think Alabama was a really, really good basketball team that for early in the season, we were ready to play them. We just defensively, their guards really outplayed our guards.
Was it do you think that was a bad matchup too, because of how good their guards were?
I think if we played them in February, our guards will be as good as their guards. But I think because those three played last year for Alabama, and our three did not, I think they had an edge.
Rick,
And also, I mean, Dylan, I know you said Dylan may not have helped defensively, but the offense wasn't great down the stretch in Bama, and not having him.
Dylan would have helped us. I just didn't want to make any excuses.
Okay. That's kind of what I thought.
Yeah.
a bunch of us were at the Garden yesterday for the Champions Classic, and at the conclusion of the Michigan State-Kentucky game, one of the sort of topics that kind of came up was the blueprint of continuity versus the blueprint of relying heavily on the portal. And Coach Pope certainly seemed to be pretty despondent about his guys not really playing much for each other. Now, your team has the similar blueprint of relying on the portal, but we haven't seen that problem in your team. Your team seems to play for each other. Why do you think that your team has come along that way?
Well, not speaking about Kentucky, we've done a great job of evaluating people and what they're all about. So when we took Dylan Mitchell, we asked every coach, every assistant coach, all about him. Bryce Hopkins, same thing. Dylan Darling, same thing. Ian and Joson, we already knew about. So we did our homework with other people, with those guys. So we knew what we were getting in Bryce, Dylan. We knew what we had in Ruben Deco. And so we put great emphasis on chemistry, great emphasis on selflessness. And Darling and Mitchell and Bryce, they're all about that. So that type, even a guy like Tomba we knew he would really add to the chemistry of the basketball team. So, it is a problem you don't know what you're getting when you're getting 8 new players, and that's why Connecticut looks so good right now. They've got 3 starters back, and from a basketball standpoint, they've got really good continuity.
Michigan State too. I mean, they're
no question about Michigan State look great. Now, Michigan, even the coach in his pregame comments said, we shoot 22% from 3,
right, of course.
and then they went out and torched
hit
the
7
Nets.
from 10,
Yeah.
7 of 10.
Yeah.
Rick, does Joson done anything in the last few practices that made you say, I'm going to start him? Like
It was either Ian or him.
Okay.
We're going with Joson in this game. They're close. Both of those guys are really close in ability. They both have terrific ability. Both of them need work defensively, and they'll get better at that. They both should be great defensive players. Both of them should be great.
Because of athleticism.
Their athleticism, their quickness, their hand speed. They both can jump out of the gym, so they can rebound the basketball at the defensive end. So I'm very high on their abilities, both guys. It's just a very deep basketball team right now.
Do we media and just fans have to be patient with them because they are sophomores and because
I don't go by reputations.
Right.
If you go by attitude, abilities, I think you'll like them a lot. If you go by high school reputations or that type of stuff, that just doesn't jive anymore. You know, both of those guys have tremendous abilities. Both have great potential. They're both going to have great games. They're going to have certain games. Josan and Eno have great games, and you'll say, oh, that's the real Josan. Then they're going to have other games where they're going against a tough opponent. You know, I think both of those guys will see with Iowa State, you know, because they're going to see a different type of defense.
Rick, one question about Leotopoulos. You know,
Very
when
good saying that name. I had a very difficult time.
You know, it's the New York thing. You always
Yeah.
call guys by their last name. So, you know, with him, he played in the Michigan game, and he really gave you something at the end. But when we kind of talked to you about him after, you didn't really feel like, well, he really earned something for us. And then before the last game, you were going to use him as the starting point guard, and then
No,
didn't.
starting two guard.
Starting
Was
two
Iowa
guard.
was going to start.
And then he kind of only ended up playing 8 minutes. Is he
So,
in the doghouse with you
Not
or
at
something?
all. I love him. So what happened, we were going over all of William and Mary's presses with Ozai and him in the backcourt. And the white team was beating them by 20, turning them over every possession. So that wasn't the lineup to go against full court pressure at that point. So that's the only reason I made that change at that point.
Do you see, like, obviously, Ruben Prey has made a pretty big jump from what he was, you know, last year. Do you think Leotopoulos is traveling that same arc?
Is on the same plane as Ruben. The problem is, he's a weak defensive player also. He joins the club. But by the way, they all try. They all really do try. But it's just a matter of time and getting it. And he's playing against a senior, you know, Zaya. So if you're going to play Dylan Darling at the 1, and you still have Josan and Ian, you know, it's tough for minutes. Now next year, he'd get a lot of minutes, obviously, because he's going to be an upperclassman. He has a great chance to start. Look, I think the world of Kelvin Odie. I think he's going to be a terrific basketball player. There's just a lot of upperclassmen ahead of him.
You feel pretty confident Leotopoulos will be on St. John's next season?
In this day and age, I could never tell you, but I would say I feel very, very confident that he wants to be at St. John's and he'll be a player for the future here. Because next year he's going to be an upperclassman. Why would you risk going to another place? Unless it's money related.
Rick,
It's like you know, going to the Athletic. If somebody offered you $3 million, you may think about it.
$3 million. You don't know much about our business, Rick. It basically seems to me
I do.
like you're saying Dylan is your point guard. He's going to be the point guard. I know stuff can change, but it seems like you're really bullish on him.
I was just reading your articles, and you guys like that, so I think I'm going to go with that.
No, here, no.
No, I think he's going to be the point guard, yes.
All year.
I can't say that. I can't foretell the future. You know, I think in the next tomorrow and the 3 games out in Vegas, he'll be the point guard.
So
I can't tell you after that.
But it seems like you're really bullish on him and think people are underrating him or underestimating him.
I just think his credentials are better than you guys think. I think his credentials are damn good. Player of the year in any conference is big time. His numbers were big time. I think he's a tough kid, so his 5'11" size doesn't bother him. Now, if he wasn't tough, you know, what did he have, 5 rebounds in the last game?
Yeah.
So
No,
he's
we know
tough.
he's tough. I
Yeah.
mean, my bigger question is just like athleticism-wise. Like, can he defend?
Well, he's not going to dunk a basketball, but if you want to run a race from end line, he's going to beat everybody.
Right. But like, I mean, can he defend well enough for you for what you want?
he'll defend just as good as Ian, Joson, lefty.
Right, but you talk about how Ian and Joson can take leaps defensively. You think they should be good defensive players.
Yeah, they're not there yet.
Right, but like what I'm saying is,
No, he's going to get beat. We got to rotate. He's going to get beat. They're all going to get beat. I mean, Zuby gets beat. We just get. But in today's, and I'll say this about defense, it's so tough today because you can't put your hands on anybody. So in the NBA as well as college. So defending one-on-one, there's very few Gary Paytons. You know, there's very few. Right now on our basketball team, we have one great defensive player. One out of 14, and that's Dylan Mitchell. He's the only great defensive player we have on our team.
So you don't think Zuby's a very good defensive?
I think he's decent,
Okay.
but great, no. We have one great defensive player. Now, I would say every coach in the country would say they have one or two. It's just the way the game is played today. It's 5 out, the help defense. Now, that doesn't mean you can't be a great team defensive team.
Right.
Like last year, we were a great defensive team. We didn't have great individual defensive players.
It was just the communication.
The communication was great. They could switch at all the positions with the exception of Davon and not lose anybody. You switch with Aaron, you switch with Kadari, you switch with RJ. They were all the same size.
Scott was a pretty good defender.
He was a good defender. And Dylan's a very good defender. Dylan and Scott were the two best defenders.
I thought last year Zuby was the backbone to your defense. So that's not. You don't agree with that?
No, I don't.
Really?
No, I think that Aaron Scott was the best defensive player in the team. RJ was very good, a one-on-one defensive player.
But he wanted to be.
Yeah, Kadari had great hands. Davon could get after people, get after them hard. So we became a light. And Ruben was terrific. He could switch all the.
Well, you still have Ruben.
Yeah, Ruben's a decent defensive player.